Yeah, as we jump into Champion Select, it's going to be Spoiler against the team that needs this win now more than ever. Red Canids up against the Direwolves.
And already have a couple bans coming out from both these teams. Thresh and Ash taken away by the Direwolves. Red Canids, they're going to ban out Varus and Ivan. So no Schönfire Ivan here today.
No, we're not going to see the Ivan. Of course, Caitlyn and Lulu are still two champions that need to be spoken about. It took apart the Direwolves. They have tried to pick it themselves, and Group A just is obsessed with this bottom lane duo. But the fact that neither of those champions are being banned right now indicates the Direwolves with their first pick may direct their attention towards one of those two champions. My thoughts actually go towards the Caitlyn.
And the Thresh ban is quite surprising because 2 days ago we saw Dude pick it up against the Direwolves and was able to get his team first blood with that champion. So a lot of respect from the Wolves this time round. They ban out Lee Sin, which they've been doing all day as well. And Talon's the final ban from Red Canids, which gives Graves over the Schönfire.
Yeah, they get the Graves, right? They empower Schönfire, give him the best jungler, but as we just mentioned, perhaps Lulu or Caitlyn is going to be there. Well, they're both available towards the opposing side here of the Red Canids. The Brazilian team being able to pick two in succession, you would have to expect that whilst Direwolves get the Graves, they are going to be giving over these champions.
And this will be the second time today that we see the Direwolves give over Lulu and Caitlyn if Red Canids lock in that AD carry.
And they always default to the same lane against it. It's curious that we constantly see this. They always go Ezreal Karma as the opposing lane towards the Lulu Caitlyn. They're comfortable in the laning matchup, and they did look okay. Ezreal usually foregoing the tier purchase. It's more just curious that they always go towards the Ezreal when they don't have wave clear or something to defend when they're losing. But now Graves exists, they may have shored that up.
And that's going to be locked in for the Direwolves and Red Canids. Picking up the exact same draft that Supermassive used against the Direwolves today when they were on the red side of the roof as they lock in Elise as their jungler of choice.
Look, if it worked before, what's to stop it from working again? Only a jungle change from the Direwolves as we move into our second ban phase, and mid laners are the name of the game.
Yeah, Syndra and Orianna being banned out here by Red Canids. Same bans that came out from Supermassive earlier today against the Direwolves. Cassiopeia banned out by the Direwolves. If Talia follows, might have a very similar champion select here, Rusty.
Unfortunately, there's going to be no talent for Fnatic, so he's not going to be able to pick that one into perhaps the opposing mid laner of Tokkers. LeBlanc, still a very big champion, may want to consider that one over the Talia, however.
The final ban for the Direwolves is going to be Jarvan, so no dunking for Robo in the top lane was a crucial pick for Red Canids when they took down Direwolves the first time they faced off in the group stage.
But leaves open the LeBlanc. Again, you get rid of the Jarvan, that's okay. Robo did look really good on it, but you're giving Tokkers another champion that he has looked fantastic on. This comes back again. Do Direwolves want to counterpick this? Are they trying to actually have a plan against it? They have Caitlyn Lulu opposing them. They know Ezreal Karma is where they want to go. Surely the same thing applies with the rest of the map.
Which is strange because the Direwolves in the Oceanic Pro League have left up LeBlanc time and time again to pick Talon into it, but now that it's been banned out, we'll have to see what Fnatic is going to take into the mid lane against Tokkers. They have locked in Fizz again for Chippies in the top lane. Now their final pick will be up against that LeBlanc, and Ryze has been locked in for the Direwolves.
Yeah, securing themselves the Ryze actually against a LeBlanc. One of the few things you usually see is perhaps the Courage of the Colossus start with W. That helps with your level 1 trading against aggressive champions, but at the moment, Fnatic has the cleanse, may just be going Storm Raiders, just trying to survive and hold on through that laning phase, get his first purchases, get the catalyst, and be sitting pretty.
Oh, and Robo wants to take the Chippies in the top lane as he's locked in Fiora.
Again, you can riposte the fish. It's a pretty heated matchup, skill matchup between Chippies and Robo. It is going to be very crucial, however, that Robo is the one that plays this well. He's against an Ignite Fizz.
And I really want to know if Chippies has experience against this matchup because in the OPL, Fiora is most commonly banned during the second ban rotation, and no one ever sees it played.
Which, you know, personal preference for the league itself, but Fiora now being played, Chippies, he does play solo queue, he plays League of Legends on the regular, not just in the OPL. When it comes to laning phase, the laning matchup, he should be comfortable. You expect good things, honestly, from the top laner of the Direwolves and the finished team composition of them as well. It may not be perfect, it may have fallen down against Supermassive, but they're comfortable.
And as you mentioned earlier already, Chippies does have that Ignite spot to see how that goes up. You can hear the crowd already cheering for Red Canids. No more Direwolves chants, no more Rampage. It's all the home team now in Brazil.
The 6-man louder and louder as the day progresses, Fish. They definitely want Brazil at least getting the tiebreaker game, going up against Supermassive, but they need that win here first.
So where are we going to look at for this game, Rusty? Because last time round when we talked about this match, we were looking towards the bottom lane, which was completely one-sided for BRTT and Dude. But King and Destiny have stepped up in the final game of day one, and their game today against Supermassive.
Yeah.
Now it's the top side that have really faltered for the Direwolves.
I mean, the unfortunate thing here is that whilst they're slowly getting better, it's too slow, so they have eliminated themselves. The bottom lane is getting better and better at laning, if nothing else. King and Destiny have started to shape up. I would actually direct my attention towards the jungle, because Schönfire has a tempo jungler, similar to what Ivan provides, but in a very much more damage-centric route, where he's going to be against Napon, who has 90% kill participation with his team. He's always involved in these kills, and when he gets Elise, the first time we saw this, the game after it was banned from him. He's too good on it.
And Schönfire stormed onto the OPL with his Graves, with his Ivan as well. But unfortunately, the Direwolves here today can only play, spoiler, Red Canids, so it's do or die for them. They have to win this match and the next match today, which will be against Supermassive, if they want to even have a chance at qualifying for the next stage of players. We are onto the rift for Direwolves taking on Red Canids.
First things first for the matchup between both of these teams. Red Canids have gotten a lot better at their macro. They're slowing the pace of this game down, consistently trying to just generate slow play, slow pushes inside lanes, objective focus, drakes and turrets. We'll see if they can continue along those lines. Direwolves, much more simple, is what we're going to be looking at here. Can they win lanes? Because that's when they look their best.
So to kick this game off, we just see both teams fanning out across the map, scouting out vision inside the river. No crazy level 1 shenanigans that we have seen in most of the games played today. And not many deep wards being placed down either, it seems.
However,
Schönfire will be starting on Raptors here, which has been spotted out by Red Canids, so they know where the Graves has started.
yeah, they're going to be able to see him doing this. Elise already at her own blue buff, not starting at the Raptors herself. And Fiora coming to lane a little bit late, indicative of perhaps a fake leash. We'll have to watch where the Graves responds and where he goes towards. If it's red to blue and it's already missing, could be a little bit unfortunate. So cute little stuff here from the side of Brazil.
Yep, so Schönfire does move down towards his red buff, whereas Napon has moved over towards Wolves after picking up blue buff right away. Top side of the map, Chippy's already trying to be really aggressive against Robo nice and early in this lane.
Of course, the Fizz passive, especially at level 1, able to trade exceptionally well. Fiora just using the dash to get in here and there and get small tidbits of trades. The Grasp the Undying is able to compensate. So Chippies and Robo will just go at each other, and every trade that goes equal is a slightly favoring trade for the Fizz in top lane, just because the Ignite means the difference.
You roll in the bottom lane, we can see King and Destiny pushing in nice and early against the Caitlyn and Ezreal. Sorry, Caitlyn and Lulu, which should eventually start to push back out against King and Destiny's Ezreal Karma lane. Whereas mid lane, Fantix already pushing in nice and early against Tokus, wants to go back to base, pick up an early tier. Napon top side of Nap. Has been spotted by a water. Chippy's trying to stand his ground against Robo, but it's being slapped time and time again. Gets a good vital proc over the wall. Not even required, says Robo, because he picks up a 1v1 first blood.
Now Chippies tries to separate himself from the Elise. They look towards just having the duel. The Ignite doesn't actually matter. Robo playing it better, as obviously the teleport, the recall is going to be stopped and the teleport is going to come through. Napon is still here. The Schönfire is just playing a little bit sly. May find himself an Elise.
They do find Elise. Robo yet to go back to base. Does get some damage down on towards Napon. Chippy's now going in. Good repel to avoid the damage. But now, whoa, Tokus, out of nowhere, complete left field, trying to lock them down. Chippy's in the back line, so two members of Red are really low, trying to get as much damage as he can. Will he go down twice? He does! Red Canids have taken out the top lane of Direwolves twice in the space of 2 minutes.
And Chippy's teleports in only to die again. The Direwolves, this is a disaster. They're still looking.
They're still going in. Napon incredibly low.
Fantix.
Second half does not connect. Fantix is just wrapping around the turret, but this mini wave has been pushed off.
The teleport of the mid lane, like Fantix is going to come up, try and maybe impact the lane a little bit, but Brazil's just going berserk.
Oh, Fantix tries to get some burst damage down to Robo, but he's able to parry away most of the damage, and that final Q just went sideways.
It never ends, does it?
Let's just go, what is happening here, Rusty?
Top lane is just a battle royale, apparently. Throwing down the gauntlet direwolves. At least they're being aggressive. Fantix doesn't get up there in time. Compliments of a teleport from Tockers. All of these things transpire with a slight edge to Brazil, but the difference was 200 HP pretty much across the board. They individually just play that slightly better. The difference was so small. Robo not actually recalling, staying to help Napotazello.
Oh, Showfire. He's gone aggressive against Tockers. He's found him in a one-on-one situation and picked up another solo kill for Red Canids.
This could potentially be a quick one, Fish. Direwolves looking like an absolute mess at the moment. They just needed to get through laning phase. Stop accelerating the pace of the game. Let Chippies 1v1. Schönfire just needs to map out where the Elise is, but the Elise is mid again, and Fantix could be in trouble.
Yep, right behind Fantix. Does have both summoner spells available. Will cleanse out of the snare, but gets stunned up by the cocoon, and Napon racks around to pick up another kill.
Chaining the CC well. There is nothing right now that's going to slow the Red Canids down. Absolutely dismantling the OPL representatives.
And if you're King and Destiny at the moment, just go, what's happening top side of the map? Right now for my team, Napon's going to add insult to injury by picking up a kill on towards the Raptor camp here, smiting that away underneath Schönfire's nose.
The King and Destiny just be question mark picking everything. For what it's worth, there is actually a substantial CS lead towards Schönfire in the jungle. If we're going to say any kind of saving grace, we'll watch him die first. This is the replay of the Raptor take, of course. Not a lot he's able to do there when he's stuck. Absolutely nothing left available. We'll get the slow-mo auto. No, we don't.
Oh, wow. That's anticlimactic.
Denied like Schönfire at the Raptor.
Well, as you mentioned, she does have a massive CF lead of 37-7, but I'm pretty sure Napon will be very comfortable with the lead that his team has generated just from those 4 kills alone and the very early aggression. Red Canids are 1,000 gold up ahead of the Direwolves. Just 6 minutes into this.
We're like, Fantix has a tier. You know, Rise always needs a tier. And then you look over at Tok as his lane opponent, and that is already the Revolver. So he's going to be doing way too much damage for just a tier. Thankfully, has a Negatron now, forced to go back to base again. This is all about holding on now for the Direwolves. What could have been honestly fantastic for them has just gone the polar opposite way, and now they're just going to try and scale. Say to everyone, we've got the late game, it's okay. Just try and refresh everyone's mentality.
Yep, we're scaling, boys, but Tockers did pick up blue buff off of Schönfire as well, and his blue buff respawns now, so if he wants to pick up that one next thanks to Napon, it's going to be quite a difficult lane for Fantix to continue dueling up against LeBlanc. Has gone back to base, picked up a Negatron cloak for himself though.
And not just that, like to put it simply, Chippies is trying to play a duelist champion. He should be winning his top lane. We'll go towards the Trinity Force. Robo's also playing the Grand Duelist. So naturally the winner of that 1v1 has got the slight advantage through split push pressure. So as the game progresses, you would expect that the Fiora starts to run amok towards the side lanes on the map. And so Chippies is the one that has to rotate. So now you have to look towards making picks or moving around and having better vision control. As it looks like Schönfire might come up here.
That's some good damage from Chippies on towards Robo. Repels away the Fizz proc, but he goes back in, trying to pick him up. Wants to go for the one-on-one. Oh, goodness! Playful Trickster misses. Collateral damage misses, and Robo gets out scot-free.
Schönfire just had to calm down. Just wait a second. Chippies was going for the damage. Of course, that was going to kill if it landed. So you have to expect the dash or the flash away if it was available. Doesn't get the kill, just throws it in there, perhaps looking to just steal it away. Not to be seen at all. Fiora lives.
Chippies could not get his revenge on the top side of the map. Robo lives to fight another day. Meanwhile, mid lane Tockers posing aggressively here against Fantix. Tries to dash in forward to get the chain, but hits a minion. Fantix now training aggressively with Schönfire waiting in the wings. Throws down the smoke screen. That's a flash forward. Misses the Q, but is it going to be enough? One more auto attack is, and Schönfire takes back his blue buff.
And there is like 10 seconds on the flash from Tockers. Would have saved his life if it was available. So good, well timed from the Direwolves. Schönfire might have wished he had his ultimate in that situation to make it a little bit more simple. But well executed. They have a kill. They're on the board. They can take that.
Napon looking to see if he can get into the mid lane by any chance, but Fantix and Schönfire will head back to base. Meanwhile, bottom lane, both teams have just been farming in this lane, it seems, trading wherever they can. King has already picked up his tier as well as a Vamp Scepter, whereas BSO picked up by BRTT.
You've just got to feel a little bit bad for the boys in the bottom lane here of Direwolves with how this game definitely started out for them. You know, like Caitlyn Lulu should be winning the lane a little bit. Caitlyn better than Ezreal. Karma's compensating super well. They've played this matchup time and again. They've actually worked it out, and they are doing well. But everywhere else is just crumbling.
This was the lane that did not perform well in the first stage for the
2v2.
Direwolves. It's now Napon and Shernfire both making their way towards top side.
Shernfire has a 2-level advantage. They'd probably win the 2v2, but this is where the difference is made. As Tokas is nearby, and Direwolves do not know that. They'll still take this fight.
They're trying to go for it. Chippies has been jumped on by Robo. They turn onto Napon, repels with next to no health remaining. Playful Drinks that comes back down, gets 1 kill. Robo falls for the double, and Direwolves pick up 2 in the top lane.
Vantix gets out alive.
Realm Warp's back to safety. Tokas still looked like he wanted to continue chasing.
But that's the signs of big mistakes from Red Canids once again. Taking that 2v2, we already mentioned this at the start of the game. Shernfire's CS advantage is incredible. It's now 57-14 when it was 20-odd to 6. All of this pressure on the top side has stemmed from Napon being late to the party and Shernfire already having the CS. So now they get the turret, they actually get themselves a gold lead. This should not be happening.
Yeah, they got first turret of the game, but first, let's take a look at that replay, Russ.
Again, level 7-5. They will do so much more damage. Chippy's playing cleverly around where he's going to drop down. Didn't go to a minion. And Fiora, even though the ultimate's on, you can't hit 4 procs on the Fizz this simply. Like, look at him go. And the reason that it didn't work out well for Red Canids, LeBlanc was busy trying to kill the Rise.
I'm also pretty sure that's the first time I've ever seen Shernfire smile in my life, but he seems pretty happy after picking up that kill for the Direwolves. He's going to continue to invade into Napon's jungle and take away as many minions as possible.
He has almost got the same amount of farm as solo lane as Shernfire. You need to calm down.
Oh, he's got the same farm as Robo right now. He is 2 levels up over Napon. He's a level up over Robo, even with his solo laners right now.
Fortunately, the bottom lane turret, of course, falling throughout all of this, so the 2v2 of Jude and BRTT is still putting in work.
Which means now the gold is completely even between Direwolves and Red Canids. We have ourselves a game now, Rusty. What started off as a 0-4.
Honestly, what should not have been a game has worked out. You would say partly because Chippies is playing a strong champion, also getting the ward with his attack reset, and Shernfire also playing pretty strong champion. 2-level advantage still going to be there. They are doing well coming back from that position. Again, I feel like this is in part because the game means less. They're able to play more aggressively and just force plays.
Speaking of aggression, Chippy's top side of the map. We'll be able to get the repel. So another repel, the parry as Robo slides back on in with Napon in his back pocket. Chippy's is desperately trying to run away. Gonna try and hug that wall, try and take him on, but it's not enough. Ignite is ticking. Will Robo fall? He does! Doesn't get enough lifesteal procs, and Napon still pick up a kill, but Robo falls.
The damage over time, the Ignite does actually get a trade, so you'll call that a 1v2 trade, I suppose. Robo's not able to actually proc his ultimate, but still Red Canids, they're playing the focused game. They're trying to send their bottom lane that is winning towards the rest of the map, continue to generate gold advantages if they can.
But still gold is dead even. King, Arcade shifts away from Tokas. Spots him out with that ward in the tri-brush.
Had vision, chooses the safe route. That is good from King. Again, he's using spells now to keep himself away from the crowd control, something that was actually missing the first time they were playing on day 1.
And if you're Red Canids, you have to be a little bit afraid at the moment. You can tell even the crowd went silent after the double kill top lane for Chippies, and
Tokas
trying to collapse on towards this LeBlanc. Shernfire gets a couple of auto attacks down. The clone soaks up one. Destiny trying to go forward. That's a flash forward. Shernfire almost takes down Tokas, who lives with less than 50 health.
If Tokas didn't flash, he was definitely dead. But all of this pressure going bottom, Shernfire is the majority of the team's wave clearing. Needed to be mid lane. He chooses to go for a kill instead of defending a structure.
Yep, so King is left to soak up the minions that have crashed into the mid lane. Outer turret that falls to Red Canids. Direwolves are not able to respond by taking down the bottom lane outer turret.
And this does come back to Shernfire just a little bit. You know, he's a very self-centered type of jungler, wants to get himself the CS advantage, wants to use his own strength to carry the map, but sometimes you just need to grimace and bear it. Just clear the mid wave. You're still getting farm there, buddy. It is okay.
Chippy's looking to see if he can catch out Napon, who's trying to start on red buff here. That will reset. Now Robo's made his way down as well. Chippy's trying to go for a 2-on-1 again. Throws out the
4 there, not 2.
Parry does come out, dodged by the playful Trickster, but good Cocoon will lock down Chippies. The rest of Red Canids now grouping up Dude. really low, forced to flash away on this Lulu, and Direwolves pick a fight around the red buff.
And they should give the red to Chippies, the health regeneration to keep him in that top lane, of course, against the life steal out of Robo. So they'll both be hanging out top lane.
True shot run.
Got him.
King hits dude, tries to go over the wall for another Mystic shot, not close enough.
There is like one too many signs of life in Direwolves based off how this game started.
However, Red Canids have brought back the gold lead with that turret taken. Or taken back the gold lead, I should say. So now 1,000 gold ahead of the Direwolves. Very back and forth game between these two teams, just 14 minutes into the match. And King is now parked in the mid lane, farming up against BRTT and Dude.
Slight advantage to Red Canids, however. BRTT is able to go mid lane, set up the traps, really hard to break structures. Tokkers has the teleport, Fantix does not. So they are able to 1-3-1, they are able to split push, they can default to pulling Direwolves apart. But this is, again, will Schönfire actually group? Will he try and generate picks with Destiny and with King? Or will he just go to that side lane again, just try and kill Robo a million times until he's tilted? And that's your strategy.
And again, Direwolves very used to 1-3-1. They were historically known as a team that defaulted to 1-3-1. It was only really this split of the OPL where they did not show too many 1-3-1 strategies. And currently to have Fantix actually going up against Robo. With a teleport right behind Dude. Destiny's going to try and lock him down. Chippies comes in, but it will be the Karma that picks up the kill.
Yeah, they're not going to give the kill to a carry, unfortunately. Destiny is doing a little bit too much damage. You might say a Karma's a carry for what it's worth either way, but Direwolves get a pick. It's on a Dude. Diving is always a real possibility against the Caitlyn. It's good that Nippon is here.
Chippy's locked down underneath the turret, takes half his health in damage. Nippon will repel the Fizz fish that comes out. So many ways to avoid the Chippy's ultimate.
And that's why you dive the Caitlyn instead. They're currently actually moving Chippies down, it looks like.
Yeah. Tokkers are going to find Schönfire as well. Or is it Schönfire that finds Tokkers here? Gets so much damage down, the Fish slides on in, picks up a kill.
Just completely bopped. Chippies just kills him, uses Ignite. I don't even know if that was necessary. Direwolves are doing a lot of damage between Chippies and between Schönfire. This is why Fantix is now in the side lane. Again, we've mentioned this. If you give all of the kills to the Fizz, he's actually going to be fed. So you bring him to where your strong point on the map is. This is what the Direwolves didn't do in their game against Supermassive. They've chosen now to do it.
Direwolves are going to start up on a Cloud Dragon as well. Schönfire will take this one down. Nobody from the side of Red Canids are close enough to contest this. So with the 2 picks they picked up, as well as this Air Dragon, or Cloud Dragon I should say, going down, Direwolves have now brought this one back to even. Once again, Red Canids going to have to try and find a lead from somewhere. Napon is slowly falling behind.
Honestly, yeah. The fact that the Direwolves are equal in gold at 17 minutes into this game, we're at a point now where the tiers start to stack up to be a decent amount, and when those are completed, they actually get big power spikes. Tokkers, this is your moment.
Chippies lands the fish onto the mobile LeBlanc, who distorts back, throws out the gunblade, but Schönfire nails him with the collateral damage. Direwolves get a pick and should take a turret.
Gives him the smoke screen, secures the kill. Direwolves, they are picking on Tokkers. They are absolutely bullying him. Turrets now actually dropping, so the gold lead grows for the Oceanic team. This is looking really dire for Red Canids.
It certainly is. They still have their 80 carries parked in the mid lane, just trying to defend the outer turret for Red Canids, but bottom lane outer will fall. Direwolves, where was this aggression in day one? Where was this in their last game against Supermassive? Seems like they can only perform when there's no pressure involved for this team.
I'm telling you, dude, Oceania, it just wins. They start finding something. It's changing your style, let's be honest, right? We say this internationally for the big 5 regions when they compete usually. You try and pretend you're a Korean team, then you're trying to pretend to be something you're not. You'll never be as good at them as they are, sorry, at being themselves. It's just natural. Direwolves playing more like themselves. Aggressive play, using Schönfire, putting him on a tempo jungler. The biggest mistake, honestly, is that they gave Graves to Schön.
However, Red Canids aren't out of this one yet. They still have very high hopes coming into this game to get back into this as well. They're about 1,500 gold behind the Direwolves. They have a decent team composition for later on in the match, and a 1-3-1 to
That
move, but
throws it
Robo is being locked down again. Exhaust being used by Destiny. Will parry out the tether coming out from Karma, but Chippy's diving on into the back lines. Ultimate will come out from Robo with a teleport that's coming in from Tokus as well. Chippy's goes toe-to-toe, picks up the kill. He's on a killing spree, but runs into a wild BRTT, who shuts him down. But dude, on the back lines, forced to get a heal from BRTT. He gets him alive, but King snipes him. It's your boy as he picks up a kill.
And a 2-for-1 trade, Schönfire barely alive. Fantic's in trouble, so Schön.
Oh, Ace in the hole will come out. Schön forced to get a heal to get out of that one, but Napon will take down Fantix.
We have
Red
descended
Canids.
into chaos. Fish.
Red Canids trying to fight back where they can, Rusty.
It's just fighting everywhere on Summoner's Rift right now.
In between
Something
turrets,
else. It's
all over the
exciting.
jungle.
We get to see how this one happens, of course. Fantix on the side, finding Feud, looking to help his ally. Everything burnt, cleansed, even to get rid of the trap and exhaust. The King's got you covered, Fantix, don't worry. Unfortunately, Fantix goes back towards the lane instead of running with his team. Simple mistakes actually mean a lot. Schönfire thankfully smites to keep his health up, so he'll survive. But someone has to die, and that was Fantix.
And again, this game is dead even between Direwolves and Red Canids. 9 kills to 7. Both teams have 2 turrets at the moment. Direwolves do have that single elemental dragon of the game. As we are 20 minutes into the match, Baron is up and available for these two teams to take if they choose to do so. We do have big power spikes coming out from the teams as well. Blade of the Ruin King already picked up by King. He's looking for his Manamune next. Fantix on your screen completed his Rod of Ages. That's slowly stacking up with his tier.
Yeah, completed the Ravenous Hydra build from Robo's, the committal to split pushing as well, but he's going to be up against magic resistance stack here from Chippies. Not looking to 1v1, you would have to imagine. The health regen from Grasp the Undying, Corrupting Potion, small things like that with a Dark Steel. It's going to be nice, they stack well, but it ultimately means that he's looking for Tokkers. He wants to be in the Tokkers side lane, as Blue Buff doesn't want to deal with Tokkers either.
No, he's not happy with him. Run out of patience.
Slowly stomps back as well. Didn't even move quickly.
Chippies has found Dudo, looking to try and engage on towards the loose footing. Nights him as well. Wild Growth does absolutely nothing. And Destiny kill steals it for good measure as well. Chippies though is going to get locked down in return. BRTT laying down the pain. Big shield will come out from the Karma. Collateral damage just to make sure Schönfire stays safe as well.
Just to distance themselves as now the Oceanic team are pushing down the mid lane turret again, growing a slight edge. They broke the most important turret for the early game on the map now as Robo committing to the side lanes. He should not be teleporting in, to be honest. If the Direwolves are getting all of these picks, what's more important is cautious vision, safe vision being placed. And here we go again.
They're chasing him down. Robo decides, I'm going to turn back around and go up against Chippies, who's trying to hug the wall, exposes his vitals, but Playful Trickster, and makes sure he can't get the last one. Schönfire jumps in for a cheeky shotgun shot to pick up a kill. And meanwhile, mid lane, King's been able to pick up a kill as well.
It's just like Robo knew that when he stayed and he cancelled that recall, that he was up creek without a paddle. He was having a real bad time, but he just said, you know what? They're collapsing on me. I'm going to collapse on Chippies. We'll see how it goes. Didn't go to plan. Of course, Playful Tricks are able to stop the ultimate out of Fiora. Again, very good in the matchup for preventing the heal in the dueling.
Meanwhile, top set of Matt Tokka's trying to go toe-to-toe against Fantix, who hides inside of his own minion wave.
Might actually have him here.
Are not going to connect. Tokka's tries to dash away. That second Q did not connect for Fantix either, keeping Tokka's nice and healthy.
Of course, we get to see what happens in the mid lane now. King working with Fantix, it looks like. BRTT having a pretty bad day on Summoner's Rift right now. Only in this game, I will say, for what it's worth. Direwolves are warming up.
They're thriving in the chaos, it seems, Rusty, as they look to try and take down another Infernal Dragon for themselves. 3,000 gold in the lead, 23 minutes into this match. Looking to play spoiler once again, Oceania.
And in all seriousness, it's actually playing around the opposite of what Brazil want to do. The Red Canids, they were trying in their victory to play slow. Just play to your win conditions, run around the map as cautiously as possible. Direwolves will say you don't actually get a chance to rest. There's no minute in this game where you just get to farm 2 waves. We'll fight you for those 2 waves. We'll dive you for those 2 waves. And it looks like the Red Canids have responded with just utter confusion and not really knowing where to be at the right time past the 4-minute mark. Schönfire is everywhere.
Again, where was this Direwolves when it really counted for the team? They were missing and nowhere to be found except for in that match against Rampage. It's a completely different story to what we saw the first time Red Canids and Direwolves faced off.
Supermassive, Direwolf's biggest fan right now, as they actually have the advantage at 24 minutes.
We talked about this once before on day one, how Oceania normally comes into previously what was known as the wildcard tournaments and were able to take down Brazil, but never able to take down Turkey. Would lose to other regions as well.
I believe with the victory here, they'd still have the winning record in group stages against Brazil.
Just group stages.
Brazil usually come back harder in the second day, though. They usually start off a little bit shaky, bounce back stronger and stronger, which is why you'd have to be a little bit worried if you were Supermassive. But based off this performance so far, Direwolf showing that they can just be aggressive. Well, that's Turkey's ballpark. That's exactly where Supermassive want to be.
However, Red Canids not out of this game just yet. They are down 3,000 gold, but have been known to fight back in the past and have fought back before in this tournament.
Baron is going to be a very important objective here, though, Fish. If you are Direwolves and you're trying to break any structures, nigh on impossible without the purple worm actually helping you out. And more importantly, it gives them an avenue to fight over. They can look to team fight in choke point areas like that, utilize the Karma, Ezreal, Rise, even collateral damage and the Fish from Fizz. If they can catch them in a choke before the Baron, then they can outright destroy their opponents. But they're against a pick comp out of Red Canids as well. They've got the Caitlyn traps, they've got Elise, and they've got LeBlanc. The primary engage tools of them are actually Elise and LeBlanc. And so they want Direwolves to come at them, which is why we're going to see this ebb and flow of, I want the Baron, but Vision's going to prevent us from having it, so we'll come at you and fight you. And then Brazil are happy.
Both teams are very content with farming up in a 1-3-1, it seems. Fantix has been sent towards the top side of the map, going up against Talkers. Bottom lane is just Robo pushing out a wave until Chippy decides to join him on the bottom side of the map, to which he hastily disappears from the Fizz.
I feel like we're getting deja. Oh, never mind.
Wow, Surefire straight up top of BRTT. He's forced to flash away, takes a blast cone out as well. Chippy's trying to hunt him down. True shot barrage got him. Chippy's going in, picks up the kill. BRTT had nowhere to run. Meanwhile, it's going to be Direwolves trying to take down more members of the map. Jude is going to fall. Round Warp brings in Fantix as well, and they've broken the bottom lane of Red Canids.
And Robo was the person getting caught out of position there. He was pushing bottom lane. They were collapsing, perhaps rotating towards him and the blue buff simultaneously. But two big kills now. Jude goes down. BRTT is dead. Chippy's, he wants more, and he will fight them.
He was trying to take down Tacos. Napon says, all right, I can take him after you've chunked him out. Turns out, no, he just turns around.
Baron's also on.
They're going for this Baron. Napon already trying to wrap around. Let's see if we can get in there. There's a teleport coming in. It's from Tacos. He gets it. He steals it. Napon keeps the hopes and dreams of Brazil alive as he steals Baron away from the Direwolves.
He goes down, but you can see his hands are in the air. He says, what's up, Brazil? We're still in this game right now. We can still beat Oceania's Direwolves. The one-man wrecking crew of the Elise might have saved the game for them.
And listen to the sixth man of the crowd. They know it. They know Red Canids. Their time to strike back is now. And they've got Baron buff to work with.
And nobody pushing away the Elise means the Baron will get stolen. Flashes in, instant smite, does everything right in that pawn. Oceania get picks. They push people back to base. Everything was set up, and as they go to knock it down, they let the Elise come in. They make that a 50-50, but against an execute as well, potentially from the Elise's Q. This is the kind of risk you can't afford to take. They know he's there. Direwolf's decision was to burst it out as a team. The smite doesn't hit.
And this was while he was in Rappel as well. He knew he was dead, but his job was done. Took the Baron, well worth. Red Canids is still down about 3,000 gold against Direwolves, but it could have been a much more dire situation.
I'll tell you what, Red Canids start this game off well. Direwolves bounce back. They still have the gold lead, but there is absolutely fight in their system. Remember what's at stake here. The chance at making the MSI main tournament for the Red Canids is still on the line in this game, and they will fight till the end.
They still have another match to play later today against Supermassive. That's the next match that's coming up, and that will decide Red Canids' fate if, and only if, they win this match against the Direwolves.
We're starting to get some items, however, onto both of these teams. Most importantly, the Rise starting to ramp up massively, having the Abyssal Scepter. The bonus magic damage is going to actually start meaning more and more.
One of Ages, as mentioned, fully snacked already. King still looking for his Trinity Force.
There it is.
Now complete. The Surefire getting jumped on here will avoid the change and get out alive. Top of that, Mana Immune has been fully completed.
And you have to look towards what can the red cannons get with this blue buff. Red, blue, both. Yeah, Baron, the purple buff. They used to be red and blue together.
Robo's trying to push top side of the map. BRTT will come in and pick up the turret gold for himself, as well as take down that structure for Red Canids. Now only 2,500 gold behind the diver. Shenfire is trying to sneak away an Infernal Dragon while they're taking on objectives across the map.
Let's be honest, this is a pretty big cause for concern. Next one will be the Elder. That's 2 Infernals secured by the Direwolves. But the crowd is feeling it. They can feel the comeback.
Red Canids still sticking to their 1-3-1 at the moment. Now they have Toppers in the mid lane. Just jumps in, says hello to King, backs off. Chippy's moving out to the bottom side of the map where Robo is making his way down as well. Baron buff is going to expire in 25 seconds for everyone, I believe, except for Napon.
And now Tokas goes towards the top lane. They are going to try and start that 1-3-1 with the Baron buff, though. Turrets can very quickly go down as Fantix wants to prevent him.
It lands both his chains on towards Fantix. Napon is here as well. Dodges out the cocoon and locks him down with the snare. Teleport being channeled by Chippies as well. Let's get towards top side of the map. He fully completes that channel. That leaves Robo alone in the bottom lane.
That definitely does. Both summoners used by the Rise, teleport used by Chippies means that someone's going to have to go down there, and that is Shenfire.
He's going one-on-one against this Fiora. That's a big mistake. He's forced to flash away. Collateral damage trying to get him out of that one. Parry slows him down, throws out the smoke screen, but it's not enough. Robo gets a shutdown.
Now Chippies wants revenge.
Going for the one-on-one, or two-on-one, I should say. He gets help from Destiny. Direwolves bring the entire Wolfpack down here, but Dude is here as well. Chippies tries to fight him, but look at this Fiora monster sliding on in. Wants to pick up the kill, gets the final, but he just can't quite find it. And Chippies will pick up that kill.
So close, but they are still pushing the top lane at the same time. Brazil have brought that gold lead basically back to nothing with these turrets going down again. Kills all of the pressure Robo's able to bring towards that bottom side of the map, and suddenly Direwolves are on the back foot. That
single kill trade between Shenfire and Robo means now we have, again, a dead even game. 55,000 gold for both Direwolves and Red Canids. And let's listen to the crowd again.
We get to see this fight again in the bottom lane. Robo's all about proccing those vitals. The fourth one was blocked. Shenfire tries his best, but you can parry to proc that fourth one. The health regeneration, there was no chance of Shenfire being able to save him there. Of course, Chippies tries to help, but Jude came down and ensured that none of that happened, as you can feel the emotion on the players and the crowd loves it. Sao Paulo goes hard.
Meanwhile, next Baron is going to be respawning in the next 2 minutes here, Rusty, with Elder Dragon up on the table soon as well.
And you would have to expect that these teams would look towards the Baron much more than the Elder.
So taking off the gold leaders at the moment, BRTT nice and ahead of King, whereas it's still top side of map. Chippy slightly ahead of Robo, and Shenfire slightly ahead of Napon as well. BRTT on Caitlyn, he's got his massive power spike, double Z line complete with the Infinity Edge. He's got a QSS to get the heck out of dodge, and he has the Last Whisper as well.
And small point, there's not a lot of item slots available for some of the members of Direwolves. They should definitely be selling their refillable potion, their Dark Seals, get themselves some control wards. They're about to set up for a Baron fight as Fantix just got the pump fake. He ulted away from a fake LeBlanc. If they don't get those control wards, then Red Canids have control of the area by default because they are with momentum in this game. This duel, if they choose to take it, could determine what happens in this game.
Going for it. Robo pops the ultimate down. Shenfire's going to show up. A teleport coming in from Tokas. This will be a 2-on-2, and the Wolfpack are retreating already. Shenfire getting it locked down first. Chippies is the next target. Tokas is going to chase him now with the chains. Destiny tries to follow back, but if look top side, 3 members of Red Canids looking to push into the base of the Direwolves.
Fantix has to try and clear these minions 1v3. There is no Baron buff. It is possible, but they're committing to the turret.
They've got the traps placed down by BRTT. Top lane inhibitor turret is gonna fall, and the comeback is real for Red Canids as even bottom lane inner turret falls, thanks to Tokas as well as Robo.
They're letting these structures drop. King also having to run away.
Oh, he's trying to go for a 2-on-1 here. That might be a big mistake. Robo gets in under him, underneath the Nexus turret, gets a kill. He's now trying to get the heck out of there. There will be redemption. It's not going to be enough. Chippies gets that kill.
Inhibitor still falls top lane. Direwolves being completely pulled apart on Summoner's Rift right now. The Red Canids starting to ramp up. That momentum is legitimately just getting them over the line, and this grit, this determination out of the Brazilian side all stems from a single Baron steal out of Napon. Truly a hero for his team and region right now.
The hero of Brazil right now, Napon, keeping the Red Canids' hopes alive. Inhibitor has been broken. Elder Dragon's up in a minute. Baron is live. The Direwolves were thriving in the chaos, but it seems like Red Canids have adapted accordingly, heading into 35 minutes of this match.
And they've scaled up as well. The Caitlyn's got items, the Blanc's got the Void Staff, able to shred through the magic resistance of their opponents now. Robo committing towards his Bloodthirster build, wants to keep split pushing. It's already been working. If he finishes a Bloodthirster, no one's going to be able to stop him pretty much completely. Direwolves do still have items. They have a lot of damage, but they do not realistically have a tank right now, because if Robo pulls Chippies to a lane, then the tanks are gone. And against the Caitlyn's damage, against the LeBlanc's burst, there's not a lot of hope left.
And that's exactly what Red Canids are going to try and do. We've already seen it. Chippies can no longer duel Robo one-on-one. Even with that Ignite, Robo just does way too much damage with the Vital Procs, with his ultimate and all the items he has gathered. With that double teleport, Tokas is in his back pocket in case Schoenfire decides to show up into that lane. Direwolves are going to try and rush Baron. Robo does have teleport, is heading back to base.
They are destroying this buff right now.
He's going quick.
Napon.
Can Napon do it twice? 2,000 health, goes back down.
Yes, he can!
Oh my goodness, Napon is a god! He gets the spy steal. Direwolves want to look for the fight. They've already taken down the jungler. BRTT running away. There will be a round walk. They get a kill on towards the AD carry. Dude is the next target. Red Canids drop like flies as 3 members fall, but Robo is still marching towards the base.
He's taken the minion wave, but there's no jungler alive, so the Elder Dragon will be the name of the game. You have to imagine here, 4 Direwolves completely just responding. They send Chippies back to base, but Robo, with the Baron buff compliments of the Elite, is hard pushing.
Robo, he's getting cheers from the crowd. It's not even Red Canids, they're just cheering for Robo. Tokas trying to stop the ports and make sure Direwolves can't recall. Meanwhile, there's a 1-on-1 against the Fizz and the Fiora. Fiora's already taken down the inhibitor turret. Can't quite get the inhibitor. He's got to run away from Schoenfire.
Fishes up.
It's going to connect. There's a redemption coming out as well. Schoenfire tries to slide in. Collateral damage, as well as Chippies. Damage over time is going to be enough. Direwolves do take down Robo, but they lose their inhibitor turret.
But the damage over time will be enough to secure him just before the collateral damage. But again, Brazil, that Baron steal, like, we called him a hero before the second one, as if things couldn't get worse for the Direwolves. That was a desperation Baron. That was still the right call. They were able to do it in time before Brazil actually got there, before Red Canids could actually even look at contesting with a team fight. But the Elise, man, that guy is legit.
If Napon didn't steal that Baron, that would have been good night Red Canids. They would have been knocked out of MSI, because Direwolves picked up 3 kills after that. And with Baron buff pushing in a wave, it would have been 9 possible for Robo, as well as Tokas to defend against the 5-man squad of the Wolves.
You have to be a little bit concerned, though, for the Direwolves, just because of the Fiora scaling up. Right now, nothing contesting him. Got magic resistance with his Bloodthirster in that one recall, that one purchase that he just got after dying. And whilst the Direwolves have this Elder buff, they can team fight. They may look for that team fight, but they're against a 1-3-1 comp. And so it's about, can the 3 from the Red Canids hold? Can Napon, BRTT, and Dude actually prevent this push to let the side lanes go?
That Elder Dragon should expire slightly around the same time as the Baron buff. Direwolves brute force their way through the first turret. We'll give it a second.
They're actually going all the way.
Meanwhile, Red Canids still split pushing in a 1-3-1. Direwolves break the base, take down an inhibitor turret. Inhibitor's going to fall as well. Tokas tries to come in for a good trade, but getting locked down by Chippies. Redemption will keep him nice and healthy.
Chippies.
Still wanted to go for it.
You back up. Direwolves, they get an inhibitor, pretty much gifted to them, honestly, by Red Canids committing to that side lane. Well, the side lanes are set up, so what are they going to do now?
While Robo is close by, has been spotted out. He's in a bit of trouble here. The Direwolves are collapsing on towards the Fiora. He tries to take a piece out of Schönfire. Harry keeps him a little bit longer, as well as the Wild Crow, but he has been taken down. Schönfire goes on a killing spree, and Red Canids retreating towards their base once again.
But the Elder Dragon buff is about to run out as we speak, so unfortunately that strength, that team fighting prowess that they just had, utilized extremely well by the Direwolves, has subsided again. 2 Infernal Drakes empowered by that. Their damage was through the roof, and they actually get an inhibitor down. So mid lane inhib gone. All of the control on Summoner's Rift goes back a little bit more to the Direwolves. This is not a one-sided affair anymore. Fight after fight. No victor yet.
Back and forth between Direwolves and Red Canids. Even though it's a 22-10 scoreline right now, it's 8 turrets to 5. 74,000 gold to 71,000 gold, but gold becomes irrelevant at this point in the match with 6 items already completed on BRTT. You can see King is just half an item away from completing his 6 items as well. Everyone is ready for what could be a final team fight.
The next team fight will most likely determine the victor of this game, but there's no Baron to fight for. There's no Elder Dragon to look towards as well. This is all about the vision game. Where do they want to be and how? Both teams able to enact a 1-3-1 team composition. Fantic's side lane, Chippy's side lane against Robo and Tokka's respectively. But the Brazilian side have also just ran it straight down this mid lane. And it's all about who controls the minions with the vision and where does the fight actually happen. With no objective, it's all about the split pushes.
Chippies has even sold his Dark Seal, picked up a Zhonya's Hourglass for himself on the AD tank Fizz.
Gives him the dive potential. Most importantly, it could go towards a Randuin's, could get himself a Thorn Mail against the auto attacks, but this means he can go super deep and nobody has to protect him. He's self-sustaining. It's all about protecting King, you would have to imagine, for Direwolves, but Schönfire, I mean, he's worthy of it.
However, Dude has not hit level 16, still 14 at the moment compared to Destiny 16.
Very different performance.
Has hit 16, but Schönfire's level 18 as well. He's an item and a half behind the Graves jungle.
And it's amazing what winning your bottom lane, or at least going even in your bottom lane, can do for the Direwolves. Contrast this to the last time that Red Canids played against them. BRTT and Dew go off.
Uh-oh. Chippy's being hunted by Red Canids. Puts down a ward. That'll be cleared out by Napon.
Everything calms down just a little bit here. It's one of those moments where the 6th man in the crowd can actually start to make the difference. When they start to ramp up, start to get excited, that next fight wins the game.
They've been there for Red Canids when they were down 4,000 gold against Direwolves, cheering them on still. Cheering on Robo when he went for a split push attempt as well. Making sure they're always behind their home team.
And you would have to say the Direwolves in a full 5v5 have the slight edge. Red Canids need to make that pick, utilize the LeBlanc, utilize the Elise.
Going for Dude. He's been locked down by Chippies. You pop the Wild Growth, he's dead. Chippies gets an easy kill onto the Red Canids support.
They just find the Lulu in the jungle, but they're also pushing the bottom lane. Fiora's going hard on the inhibitor.
And here's the crowd again, cheering on Robo because he's already on another turret. That's gonna fall. Chippies has gone back to base, but he is alone going one-on-one against Robo.
There is gonna be a Jill down here.
There's the Zhonya's Hourglass of Chippies just keeping himself alive a little bit longer. Robo tries to go underneath the turret, but Schönfire is cutting through the jungle, trying to get behind this Fiora.
There's going to be a lot more fighting to be seen. Robo needs to get the heck out of there.
Destiny and King are here as well. Exhaust going down on towards the Fiora for good measure. The Warpack group up and Hunt as a pack to take down the split pusher from Red Canids.
Just a little bit too much from the Fiora this time around. Take the tower. Chippies comes in. You can try and fight him, but you have to back away. Now 50-odd seconds without their top lane. A teleport is available, but this is also the 3rd Baron that's about to spawn. Direwolves once again, as the Baron comes up, have the inside track. They have the pick of the litter. Where would you like to go? But if they don't get this quickly, teleport wards are available behind them at the Baron.
And this time, Napon might not be close enough to try and stop this. He is sprinting his way down, and it doesn't look like to be able to stop this Baron attempt. 3 times is the charm here for the Direwolves. They finally get their first Baron of the game.
They actually locked down the objective. No Elise, no chance. And they'll be thankful for that one this time around. Still, as a result of Robo dying, he has unfortunately been a big part of why Direwolves have been able to get back into this game. A massive fizz running around on Summoner's Rift against somebody who has hard committed to split pushing. Well, guess what? You're against the Baron buff. You have to group now. This is where it matters most for the Red Canids.
Direwolves have two other lanes that are currently pushing in their favor as well. Slowly moving towards this inhibitor turret. King stepping on so many traps though. What are you doing? Did you not learn your lesson from day one, King?
Did he not learn his lesson from 2 games ago? We mentioned this traps are part of the reason actually lost against Supermassive.
And an immobile object has repelled Direwolves' attempt to break the top lane inhibitor turret.
Darn cupcakes. At it again.
A little bit too tasty apparently in Brazil. This does give Red Canids time to push out the remainder of the waves. Mid lane has been pushed out by Tokkers. Robo is making his way down to the bottom lane.
Good vision.
Remember, Direwolves have no inhibitor turrets at all. If Robo gets into the base, he'll make quick work of them. Chippy's teleport is still halfway off its cooldown.
Do you know, it's important that single ward was placed by Tokkers. It may get cleared, but it may not, just because it's in such a deep position by itself. The fact that Elder's coming up soon, as you just pointed towards, and that Robo was setting up on the side lanes. He should go top lane right now. They should keep Tokkers around. They still want to, if nothing else, 1-4 as their lane assignment. Split push with the Fiora top lane. Avoid the next spawning buff at all costs and set up one of their lanes to be pushing, to be moving forwards, so they just don't get completely washed by the Baron buff's control.
Elder Dragon also comes up at about the same time as Baron buff expires. Styles will still have a couple of seconds left to work with it. Once the Dragon spawns, as said, they move bottom lane, take down the final inner turret of this match. Going for the inhibitor turret.
Not here in time.
No one for Red Canids here. They break the base. Direwolves just push on in, nice and easy. Being locked down by the Cocoon though. Takes quite a bit of damage. Chippy's trying to go for the fish, throws it onto Napon. Chippy's taking a little bit of damage in return. BRTT moving on forward. Robo looking to see if he can engage. Tokkers wants to go into the back lines but can't find anyone. The chains will connect. He takes quite a bit of damage in return.
I mean, that was mostly just a little bit confusing. They were asserting their dominance, I suppose. Chippy is saying that he's a bit of an alpha, doesn't care for your damage, backs away. Baron buff still in hand. It's most importantly, again, the Elder Dragon buff. They don't have vision there, Direwolves. They need to go back, get some control wards, place them around the area. But I mean, okay, Showfire says, I don't need control wards. I'm going to buy a full Infinity Edge with my 3,800 gold. Yep, why not?
He's at 6 items now, so the only slot for control words is on Destiny, who's packing 3 at the moment, 2-0-12. He's having a decent game on this Karma.
Kind of amusing that having a bad performance can actually indicate you having more slots for control wards at around the 46-minute mark.
Direwolves just going to try and run it down mid here. Red Canids.
I've got them caught out of position. They just run the mid right now.
And they're doing just that. Inhibitor now under siege. King's going to be able to take that one down.
Red Canids are behind them.
What? They're getting right behind the Direwolves, but here's the L1 getting the heck out of there. Straight out of the base, straight towards the Elder Dragon.
They just go straight to the buff. You have to imagine now Red Canids have been playing Ring Around the Rosie and have not found a pocket full of anything.
The do-si-do, Direwolves move straight towards the Elder Dragon. Red Canids are collapsing, but this is taking it way too fast. Chippies even throws out the fish. It connects. Dude is going to go down. Chippies goes godlike and picks up the kill. Shotfire into 4 people. Gets BRTT. No AD carry available for Red Canids. The supports will die. The junglers will die. And slowly, the hopes and dreams of Brazil are being crushed one by one by the Wolfpack.
Direwolves just completely dismantle them. 4 dead. Nexus there to be taken and only Tokkers to defend.
Tokkers has to pull off a miracle to try and take down 4 members of the Direwolves. He dashes on in, looking for Chippies, trying to do everything he can. But unfortunately, Oceania have done it. They've played spoiler here against Red Canids. They're giving us Supermassive. It's not going to matter because they'll be knocked out of the MSI play-ins.
And Direwolves legitimately make a library out of the crowd just there against the Red Canids.